It was good, Coach. How was it?
It was good.
In terms of, I guess, getting back to work, and are you seeing guys knocking the rust off a little bit yet?
Yeah, it's been good. Like I said Monday, we've got a lot of guys who, haven't played a lot. So you go back to ground zero and some guys in some new positions. And, today was our last day in shorts and helmets for a little bit. So we'll start to add pads on Friday, and then by Saturday be in full pads.
You mentioned last season at some point that you would have preferred if you had a chance to redshirt Brad Stewart.
Yeah.
How has he grown in the off season, and how has that experience helped him moving forward?
Well, we'll see as we play, but he's made a lot of strides off the field. He's gotten bigger and stronger, and I'm sure his understanding is a lot better than it was. I mean, for any freshman to come in and have to play like that is like drinking out of a fire hose. It's coming faster than you can absorb it probably. So,
right.
With all said, I was proud of the way he played and what he did. I mean, he played hard, but I fully suspect he's going to be much better this year than he was a year ago.
Is there anything in particular you're keeping your eye on these first couple of days of practice?
I think just attention to detail and attitude, effort, all those things, trying to make sure that we're coaching all the little things and we don't forget, how you win games. The little things are what makes the difference most of the time. And we've got to, if you're supposed to be lined up at 4.5, be 4.5. You're supposed to be at 7, be 7. Don't false step. Take the right steps. Do all the things that you can control yourself.
At ABAC, J.J. Green is one of the guys you didn't have last year. What does he bring to the table?
Well, we'll see. I mean, he's played, because he had to sit out a year. He was on the scout team last year, but he was here last spring. He brings some experience. He played some when he was at UGA, and he likes to play the game. He's got some toughness, and hopefully he can get in the rotation. We'll see as we start to play.
How's Lynn doing in terms of his transition?
Much better. He's kind of there again. He got kind of forced into it and had to play with little or no practice, and now he's going to have a whole spring. And he got to play the last 4, 5, 6 games a year ago. He's got a really good skill set, so hopefully this will be a big year for Lynn.
Coach, we're not out there through the entire practice, obviously, but I noticed you out there working with guys today. Has that kind of been something you thought you'd do a little more this year, kind of a little more hands-on coaching?
Well, normally when you guys are there, I'm usually doing that all the time. When you guys are there, we're in special teams.
Right.
And, it's in the past up until this time, we had a special teams guy that you want to let coach. So with the young guys, and right now until we get started, I want to make sure that we're doing it the way I want to do it. So I'm probably a little more involved in special teams than I have been.
Talk about just the, you were talking about your receivers, just the big plays this year. Are you looking for a little more out of that position this year?
I think just consistency. We've got to be better offensively than we were a year ago, no question. And I think that, it all starts up front, so we got to play better there. But all our skill guys have played now. Last year we hardly had any skill guys other than Justin who had played. Now some of the B-backs may end up being the guys, some of the guys who haven't played, but at least at receiver you're going to have guys who played for the most part until the 3 scholarship freshmen come in. We'll see if they can get in the rotation. But the A-backs, there's a plethora of those guys that have played now.
With Matthew, kind of what are you looking for from him in terms of the spring to show?
Just to keep growing and be consistent. I thought when Matthew had to play last year, he went in and acquitted himself well. He's got to take care of the ball. The Miami game, we turned it over, which was huge down on the goal line, but he also turned the guy loose on him too. But still no excuse. You got to come get up with the ball.
With this many returners, does it allow you to kind of maybe install a little more in spring than you maybe have?
We kind of go on a whole theory anyway. We try to get a lot in, and then we come back and break it down into parts and try to do it. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot for the young guys, but you always constantly, the neat thing about what we do, at least offensively, is it's a system, and it's not going to change from now and through next season. So the more you do it, hopefully, the better you get at it.
How is Quay Searcy look running around?
He's doing well. I think, I don't know if he's 100%, but he's playing every day and practicing, and, I think Quay's got a bright future. He was playing well when he got hurt last year.
When will you guys go to full pads?
Saturday. Yeah.
So you'll have a sort of full scrimmage on Saturday, or a little bit?
We'll hit some, We'll ease into it. We'll start to bang a little bit on Friday in shells. and then every day we'll kind of build into it.
Can you tell some of the guys that have really worked at it in the off season as far as not just the weightlifting, but just studying?
I think from the weightlifting and the charts you can tell, until you put the pads on and start playing, I mean, everybody's good in shorts sometimes. So sometimes the guy who looks the most haggard and not as quick and fast in the shorts when all the pads go on, they end up being the thumpers. So it's, you just kind of reserve your judgment until you play some.
Going back to Matthews, was it good for him to be able to play a full game where he knew he had to go out there every series?
Yeah, I think anytime you get experience is good. And I'd like to get to a point this season where we play Matthew in every game, where he's got, he needs to take Tim Byerly's role before Timmy got hurt a year ago, and I feel good that he can do that now.
In terms of one of the conversations this, off season was about hitting and practice and tackling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you changed at all your philosophy, increase, decrease, or anything
No.
like that?
Still pretty much got the same philosophy I have. We don't bang a lot anyway. I mean, that's a big misnomer. I mean, once you get into the season, nobody's taking their backs to the ground or hitting very much or doing that kind of thing. So I think the best way to learn how to play football is play football. And so we're going to continue to do it. We've had a lot of success over the last 38 years, and we're going to continue to do it the way we've done it.
Do you think some of those issues are more poor form and tackling and stuff like that, guys trying to do highlight type hits
kids are
instead
bigger
of
and stronger than they used to be. That's one thing. It's year-round training. I think sometimes we overtrain. And but I'm a big proponent of getting some data and some stuff before you start going nuts with it. And I haven't seen a whole lot of data that would suggest that anything that anybody's doing is changing much.
Okay.
Now go ahead.
Christian Campbell, it's obviously like, have you noticed just how he's kind of fitting in?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. He hasn't played safety in a long time, but he's a good athlete. He's a bigger kid, 210 pounds, and his hands in a cast. He wasn't going to play quarterback, so we get him over there and get some work.
You mentioned that you were anxious to see the B-backs and pads.
Mm-hmm.
Is the receiver position another position where you're maybe anxious to see what Philpott and Howell can do?
Yeah, well, actually, Philpott hurt himself the first day, so he's out for at least probably a week or so, which he's had terrible luck. I mean, the same thing happened to him in the fall. We moved Mikael Lance Davis over there, receiver, today. I did, and he looks okay. He looks good. I think he can help us there. You got Ricky, you got Brad, you got Antonio Messick. You get Mikael in there. You got Harlan, who's redshirt a year ago. When we get Christian and then 3 freshmen, we're going to have more receivers than we've ever had. So it's just a question of getting them out there and getting them ready to go.
So more of a spring thing for Mikael, just to get him on the field somewhere because of the depth?
I just think we were short there, especially with Christian getting hurt. He played there his senior year in high school. He's got a good skill set. He's got really good hands. It's just trying to find a way to get the best 11 on the field.
You mentioned the other day about just a lot of teams going 3-step on you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the answer to that is just getting more of a 4-man rush, so you're not blitzing and you're able
Well,
to.
you got to change up what you do, and you got to sometimes if they're throwing a lot of 3-step, maybe you need a 3-man rush. You're not going to get there if you rush 9. So,
right.
You got to play some coverage and zone drop and do some stuff like that and mix it up.
Did any of your guys go anywhere this offseason to go meet with other staffs to share ideas or anything like that?
We've had so many staffs in here. I mean, it's the defense had a defensive clinic. They had, I'm trying to think who all was here for 2 days. It was Florida, Oklahoma State, Kennesaw came down. There were several staffs in here, in and out, and there'll be more as the spring goes. We didn't go anywhere as a staff. Coaches went individually to different places and talked.
Is that something you encourage with your
Yeah,
guys?
anybody wants to go, I'll support that. Yeah.
Anything else?